Hi, let's go over the course catalog and what it means to you. To locate the catalog, you simply go to the main Arkansas Tech University webpage at atu.edu. Scroll down. Under Academics, we'll see the catalog listed directly underneath the academic calendar. So let's go and double click on that. This brings up a whole list of catalogs, and let's go and click the most recent, and we'll click the undergraduate catalog to take a review. And when we see this, we see a list of contents on the left, and they're broken down in our colleges and various departments on the right. It's entirely electronic, so pretty much everything that we need to do from academic policies to important dates, graduation requirements, will all be located in the course catalog, in the undergraduate catalog itself. We're going to click through a few of these links and pretty much go over a broad overview of it and some important areas to point out that's going to be of pertinent information to you. And I encourage you to further review the catalog and make sure that you're really getting a good comprehensive grasp of all the little intricacies that we need to know to have a successful career in our academic and get our degree knocked out. When we see our introduction, this is going to give us a basic overview of accreditations and pretty much what we need to know, that it is a regionally accredited school commissioned by the Higher Learning Commission of North Central Association. We'll see additional program accreditations that will be directly related to should you be in music or in nursing. You see the Chemical Society, and those are if you're in certain concentrated degree programs. It may behoove you to go and check that out and see where Arkansas Tech University lies in its program accreditations in particular. But it's just an overview, general introduction here. Below that we see our academic calendar, and that's going to be something that we always want to take point note of, when classes begin, when classes end, graduation, so forth. But we'll point out that an important date for you to always remember is the last day to drop before we start having financial aid and tuition dollars being impacted. So just for instance, we see in the fall semester, this date here of September 26th, this is the last day to drop or withdraw a course with an 80% tuition. The last day to officially get all of the tuition dollars back is going to be on the 28th, and we see classes begin on the 22nd. So if a course isn't going to work out for you for whatever varied reason, as you note, they're really important to save yourself some money to address those issues immediately as opposed to waiting. And we're going to scroll back up here and look at the administration and faculty. A really cool area here to check out is you'll see the different professors and so forth that we have. And then when you scroll further down, whenever you actually have a professor in your course and you realize, oh, this is who's teaching my course, while it will probably be located in the course syllabus, it's always nice to check out and see this professor, where they graduated, what degrees they've accumulated, and just get a better perspective of their background and what they're bringing to teach you and instruct your course. The general information is going to be more of a historical perspective of the college and where Arkansas Tech began. Admissions, we should pretty much have a general understanding of where we're at on the admissions process, and we're just going to kind of skim over that for the time being. Fees and expenses, do note that they can always change and will likely change from year to year. This is going to be based off of the 2012-2013 year, and you see those what all consist of, from transcript fees to support fees and so forth. It gives you a good concentrated breakdown. When we're scrolling down to the student services, it is important to note the housing requirements, and if you're a single student, your age, how far along you are in the coursework process, as far as your residence options. And this is going to give you a little bit more of a breakdown of what the residence halls consist of, when they were built, their arrangement, where they're located on campus, and that's just going to give something that if you want to see where different halls are, this is going to be the place to go. So remember your catalog, and it will be under the Student Services Operations. From there, we're going to look at the regulations and procedures. This is pretty straightforward, but it does bear to keep in mind that cheating, misconduct, none of those things are good, and we definitely want to make sure that we're upholding highest academic standards. And then you see what happens if you're on probation or suspension. And once more, it's pretty straightforward. this is not good. It affects their financial aid, affects a myriad of different avenues where we just don't even want to go down those routes. But it does give you a bit more of an overview of the auditing process, what that consists of, course overloads, and etc. We're not going to get bogged down in those details though. From the curricula here, this is something that would be very beneficial for you to check out when you're looking at the different degrees that you're going to be going into. It's going to have a lot of different terms here when you're looking at a class, and these are the abbreviations that are going to be before the class. So it could be AGAS 101. Well, what is AGAS? And here we can go to the catalog and see that that's going to stand for Agriculture Animal Science. And it continues. Some of them are going to be pretty straightforward. ART is ART, but some of them may not be. You know, the MCEG, off the top of my head, I may not recognize that. And here I see that's Mechanical Engineering. So definitely remember, look at this section here under the catalog, and we'll locate exactly what those abbreviations stand for. Now, important, graduation requirements. This is something we want to review it twice. Make sure that we're not missing out on some minor details that are very important to this overall process. And we're going to scroll down here and see the requirements for our baccalaureate degrees. And these are very specific, and we need to make sure that they're met. And you'll see the general education requirements, where we need to stand in English and math, and requirements for an associate degree. As I said, I'm not going to go through all the details, but it's definitely worth reading through this page a couple of times and making sure that we're getting the full understanding of what each detail represents and how we need to complete this requirement here. The general education requirements is something that's wholly important for us to understand because it is part of the general graduation requirements. And what I'm going to bring to this is that if it says English is 6 hours, then that's very cut and dry that we need to take 2 English courses. For most situations, you can assume, perhaps maybe not assume, but 3 credit hours is what most courses will be in many of our degree programs. In this case, to complete our English requirement, Composition 1 and Composition 2 will suffice for our 6 hours. Our mathematics, we have the choice of mathematics or algebra. Here we can see that we can check U.S. history, American government, or survey of American government. We pretty much just will need to take 1 course in history. Here in the social sciences, you can see how we can break this up into 6 hours, which would be 2 classes of our social sciences, 1 speech course, and 2 of our fine arts or humanities courses. And when we scroll further down, we'll see which class, our American Studies here, will suffice under our social sciences, and that would be one of our courses that we need to take, and then perhaps we might choose to take the U.S. History 1 course. And where this comes into place is what courses are offered, during what term, during what hours, online or on campus, and how that fits in our course mapping, which is the schedule that we anticipate on taking in order to obtain our degree. And we're just going to scroll down through here, and you see just a little bit more understanding, and this kind of gets us back into the general graduation requirements. So very important for us to review this area as well, and making sure that we understand exactly what courses we need to take and kind of have an understanding of when we're going to take them. But we'll get into the when we're going to take them part of this in a few moments. So for the now, we're going to slide back up here, and we're going to go into course descriptions. Now this is going to give us a full breakdown of the different courses that we have, the different departments that we have, the chemistry and college student personnel and culinary and so forth, and we also see the abbreviation here as well. Now we can click in here, click accounting for instance, and we'll see all the different accounting courses in a brief overview of what they are and what to expect when we're enrolled in this course. And there's also a convenient application here where we would simply we're going to be attending the fall 2012 term, and let's say that we're in the biology subject here, and we'll see, okay, we need to be taking the BIOL 1004 course. Click on that, and that will be a general overview. And if you notice here, when we click on, for instance, the medical laboratory course 2023, we'll see it's offered in the fall. And so if we know we need to take this, we we shouldn't anticipate it being offered in the spring. More than likely, this will continue to be offered in the fall. And when we look at our course map of when we'll be taking our courses, we'll expect it to occur during the fall semester. You see here Principles of Zoology. It's got our prerequisites, what we need to do to make sure that we can even take this course. The Human Anatomy, same type of situation here. So we're going to go ahead and slide back, just simply go back, and we'll see we can also view these in PDF form. And I'm not going to go through that, but you can click it here, and then it would open up its PDF file instead of the general web page viewing. Here's an index. We want to go through and we see insurance and how that would affect us being a student, internships, very basic stuff here. But what we want to do now here is take a look at the course mapping that we were referring to just a few moments ago. So if we're in the College of Education and we're in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, here's what options we have. We have early childhood education, middle level education, secondary education, internships, right? So this is exactly very different degree programs that we have options for. The early childhood education is going to prepare us to teach. Right here we see pre-kindergarten through grade 4, and so on and so forth. When we scroll down a bit further, where you see our course mapping, the curriculum that we are going to be taking to get our early childhood education degree. We see that it's a Bachelor's of Science, and we see that this is anticipating and assuming that we're enrolling as the fall semester being our first term as an Arkansas Tech University student. This does not take into consideration any transfer credits from any other institutions. It is simply from point 0 to graduation, and anticipated when we take each course. So if you remember in the curriculum app, we saw certain courses were going to be offered in the spring and the fall. Here we see coming in as a freshman, we'd be expecting to take our mathematics course, our composition course, one of our social sciences, and here, HLUD, I'm not familiar with what that abbreviation stands for. I could go back up here to my curricula, and I see all the abbreviations, or I can simply click on this link. If you recognize that anything that is underlined is going to be a hyperlink, and this will break down a course description here. Is to see to motivate students, etc., etc. It's a personal health and wellness course. That's how it's qualified. And then we see we go on in our freshman year, now in the spring semester, and we'll be enrolling in these courses. And this will be from our freshman year to our sophomore year, junior, and senior. And at this point, we might be taking our history course, Introduction in Arkansas History, our junior year. And that's just an overview, and it's something to expect. Courses are subject to change, but as long as you adhere to the catalog requirements of the year that you enter, in this case 2012, 2013, then this will get you where you need to be to graduate in a timely manner. Now there are the Arkansas Guaranteed On-Time Graduation that we can go over further, and we will in a few. But right now, this is just what I want to go over with you so that you know what you're getting into and where to find this and have a bit of an understanding of what the course catalog is, the important information that I'm going to be able to obtain from it, and how to generally navigate this, because it is no longer going to be in a paper format. It's going to be an electronic only format. It's always going to be on the website, and we'll always be able to have access to it here. So just to recap, we simply scroll down directly underneath the academic catalog, we'll click the calendar, and we'll click this calendar year. Now, for instance, if you're a senior and you're going back to when you entered, and you entered years ago in 2009, then you click under this course catalog, and it's going to go over pretty much the same thing. It will be in PDF format, and you'll be able to click and obtain that information that you needed for the catalog year that you entered. And more times than not, that's going to be the catalog year that you adhere to. Should any degree requirements and credit hours change, and you're always available to use the catalog year that you entered as a student. Any questions, please contact the Academic Advising Center, and Have a pleasant day. Thank you.